And a very special welcome to our guests this evening. During this Easter season, kind of interesting that Jesus keeps appearing in different ways. That he was a pilgrim on the road to Emmaus. They didn't recognize him there. He was cooking fish on the seashore, a cook. The disciples didn't recognize him there. Mary in the garden thought he was a gardener. So Jesus was not recognized. The question is, how do we recognize a Catholic Christian, a disciple of Jesus? How do we do that? One of the songs we sing is you can recognize a Christian by their love for one another. And also recognize a Christian by their life of discipleship, of really sharing their gifts with others. So this weekend, and last weekend, Sheila was with us and talked about stewardship. And this weekend, we're having different parishioners share about their experience of being a steward. Tomorrow morning at 10:30, Kitty Berry, our trustee, will be here. At 8:30, Jeff and Mary Bursch will be here. And tonight, Jackie and Jeff Merkus are here. Jackie is a chemistry teacher at East De Pere High School for 9 years. She's on our Faith Formation Committee. And Jeff works for Greater Green Bay organization. They are deal with revitalization of downtown Green Bay. They deal with special events and in business development. So I'm going to ask Jackie and Jeff to come forward. And the first question I have is, what's been your understanding of stewardship over the years? You know, kind of a jargon word, and the Protestants kind of defined it as kind of like finances. But what's your understanding of the word stewardship?
Well, when we were talking about this and getting ready for today, we were both talking about how, when we were young, our view of our definition of stewardship. For me, growing up in Sturgeon Bay, it was really learning at my church that stewardship was a lot about campaigns and money and finances. And so for me, it felt like a capital campaign was stewardship.
And that's maybe some of the early ways that we were thinking about it. As we were preparing, we were also looking up some definitions of stewardship. And there was one that really hit us, and we thought it really clarified what we feel stewardship is right now. And I'll try to read it. It said the careful and responsible management of something entrusted to one's care. So we think of this as stewardship isn't about money. It's about taking care of each other, of our kids, our family, our parents, our community, our world.
And this year, too, we had a very special program, and you were involved in that in terms of actually living a stewardship out. Can you talk about that experience you've had about stewardship here at Rise?
So one of the ways that stewardship has, or we've been able to help in at least a little way, is we were one of the Kingdom Builder families. I'm not sure whether to say Kingdom Builders or Disciples on the Way, one of them. And so we're trying to find a way to impact the world and impact our society. And the great thing was we just did a small part. We made blankets for homeless children in the Pere area. And it was a small part of a project that was with the Faith Formation Committee. We worked with some of the people involved: Nicole Hoffman, Stephanie Merkus, Debbie Ruggles, Maureen Mercatoris, Katie Meyer, Robbie, Rosemary. It was all of us together that ended up clothing these children for winter, and it turned into a really great project.
And Jeff, were you involved in that too?
I tried to do my part. There was, there was quite an effort. I was the photographer. Everyone, we took some great pictures. Our son Michael made a neat video that was shown at the program. So, many families participated, and it was, we've really learned that stewardship is really building God's kingdom, and the decisions that we make to become good stewards. I know that even in our own family, we try to live by example with our kids. We have 5 kids, and Jackie's involved with Faith Formation. I love being an usher, and getting our kids to help out as well is something that's very important to us.
So Jeff and Jack are one of 10 families that were given $100. They were asked to take the $100 and to use it to help other people, and their project was making these wonderful, wonderful blankets. So thank you for that. One last question. In our culture, we kind of say we're owners. We kind of own everything that we have. And stewardship comes along and says, no, we don't own anything. Everything is a gift. Our time, our talent, our treasure, and it's all from God. Do you think people are going to buy that? Or are we owners? Or just simply caretakers and trustees?
I think society is becoming very accumulation, wealth accumulation. And if we really believe in the gospel and want to build God's kingdom, we have to realize that we're just here for a short period of time. And we're blessed in many ways. Many people are blessed with things, but we're also blessed with relationships and friendships and gifts. And so I think that sometimes you have to fight society that gets you to believe that the one with the most toys wins, and that's just so far from the truth.
And one thing I'd like to add too, because our definition or idea of stewardship has changed quite a bit over the years, and I think about 10 years, 15, 20 years ago when our kids were really little, I didn't realize that just taking care of your kids is stewardship. Taking care of your parents is stewardship. And these little tiny things make a community and reaches out to a community. So I think as this Resurrection Parish and family members look at how stewardship affects us, if we all do a little part, it really turns out to be great things.
Mm-hmm.
One other quick one that I wanted to add, as usual, is I remember as our kids were young, we know they're growing up in a material world, and it was always fun to teach them that they are rich. And even when they were 3 years old, we would ask them if they were rich, and they would say yes, rich with happiness. And so being stewards, think about being stewards of the world and stewards of our families and relationships and really even stewards of a place like this. Even sometimes in business, I work in nonprofit organizations, and I'm currently on the board of the Meyer Theater, and we take a look at the resources that the Meyer Theater has, the buildings and the money they have. I remind the board, we're stewards of these assets. We don't own them. We're just volunteers. And the same really goes in our families. And I think that being able to teach our kids to be rich with happiness, and in a family, everyone has to work together to attain that.
Thank you so much. And the Merkus family is known as the Merkus Circus family. But thank you very much for sharing.